Hi, I'm Laura Watts, wife to John Watts, and he is the pastor at Mission of Hope Ministries in Columbia, South Carolina. We've been in Columbia, South Carolina since 1993. We've both had a journey in our life before we got to where we are. We were actually on the road to Nairobi, Kenya to be missionaries, and God just shut that door but opened many doors in Columbia. And our ministry is an outreach ministry. We are more of an outreach with a church that meets on Sunday than a church that has an outreach. And so we're very excited about doing this work. It is a food bank distribution, a couple of thrift stores, and the worship center. And then we do some outreaches during the year for Thanksgiving and Christmas and work with other organizations. And so a lot of partners and people help us out in the ministry. The one thing that I want to share today, though, is it all sounds like it's a perfect picture, but I want to share a little bit about myself to encourage other women or people who are just struggling in life, because let me tell you, I got saved when I was 14, 1972, and it was a wonderful experience. It was a small place called the Upper Room, and got to go to Israel with this group, so many things, filled with the Holy Spirit, did street evangelism, and started a Bible study at high school, but sort of lost my way around junior and senior year, and married somebody that was not godly right out of high school. Stayed with this person for 13 years, but it was not a God thing. And many things. I love to get in detail on that story, but I disobeyed God and married the wrong person, and for 13 years I paid the price for that. We got divorced, and so I thought, oh, my life is over. God, you've left me. I just ruined my whole life. I cannot serve you anymore. But God felt differently, and He led me to meet my husband of 31 years right now, and it has been a total blessing. But it hadn't been easy. We've had our ups and downs. John and I both came into this marriage with baggage, but yet He led us down a pathway that's going to bring healing to us. We taught divorce care. We were small group leaders. We were youth ministers. He took us all over the state of South Carolina. We came to Columbia, and John was going to be a missionary, and like I said, we were going to Nairobi, Kenya, but the door shut. Somebody said, you cannot serve the Lord because you've been divorced. You cannot go to the mission field. And it was like our hearts sank. Both of us were just shattered. But God found other things for us to do. And I want to encourage you that if you've walked away from the Lord, He's still waiting with arms wide open. It is not too late. And if your heart is still tugging at you, well, maybe I've committed the unpardonable sin. Well, guess what? If you even think that, then the Holy Spirit is convicting you. It is not true. You need to come back to God. He's waiting on you like the father of the prodigal son, and He's looking for you every day to come back. And then for women, you may think, well, I've failed. I failed God. I started I put my hand to the plow and now I turn back. No. God says, hey, I can still work with you if you are willing to follow God and be obedient to Him. And I was. It's just I had to learn the hard way. I went through the school of hard knocks. That first husband was an abuser, physically, mentally, spiritually, sexually, whatever, gambler, and he tried to kill me many times. Held a gun to my head, had car chase. We made the front pages of the paper. It was awful. But God can bring you out of that. He brought me out of that. And I want to tell you where I am today. I am 8 days away from retirement. I've worked with the state of South Carolina. I'm a CPA, a CFP, a CIA, whatever. All these certifications, God has brought me so far. He's opened the doors, had me in the right place at the right time. I learned tithing very early because I promised God to give God some money when I got like the earned income credit for the first time. And it was like, yeah, that was going to be $250. Well, I waited and never gave it. Out of that $250, I had a little dog that got run over. It took every penny of that money. And I didn't get to keep any of it. And I said, Lord, I'm going to promise to give you 10% of everything from here on out. I learned that lesson. And guess what? I have faithfully given 10%. But guess what? I can't outgive God. He returns it. get raises at work, get great jobs. I went from starting in Columbia, making $25,000 a year as a CPA. He has more than increased that salary. I'm over 6 figures now. I have a pension, I have retirement, and I'm going to be able to walk away from that job in 8 days and serve the Lord, not worry about money, because God has worked this out. And it hasn't been easy. The one thing that happened 5 years ago that brought us into the Mission of Hope ministry, my son, 36 years old, the Lord had spoke to my heart. He lived in behind us, and I felt the Lord say, trouble. He's in trouble, danger. And I had gotten these messages before about people, and they were just short words and just that Spirit speaking to my heart. And these people died from cancer or sudden deaths. And I thought, oh God, no, please don't take my son. My only son from the first marriage. And John and I had a blended family, and he's got some children. But he got sick, and in 3 weeks, we had to make a decision to pull the plug. And it was awful. It's the worst thing I've ever been through. And it's like, God, why can't you heal him? Why him? He's a good son. He goes to church. Why not this other one? Well, I don't have all the answers to my question. One day I will. But I just want to encourage you. Those kind of things God can bring you through. Press forward and keep going. And don't give up on God, because he's not going to give up on you. And that's what I want to encourage you with today. And I do want to be able to make some videos and do some things on social media, maybe have a Zoom Bible study, whatever the Lord opens up for me to do, I want to do. But I think I have enough bumps and bruises in life, and I've survived them, that I can help encourage other people to keep going too. So that was my message to you today. God bless.
Thanks so much for watching TMCI TV. If you found any benefit in this episode, please smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and ring the notification bell so you can stay up to date with our future videos. If you are interested in planning a church, starting a ministry, or looking for 501c3 tax exemption status for your existing church or ministry, TMCI can help. Click the link in the description below for more information. We look forward to hearing from you soon. God bless.